Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Jaw Games Factorio Space Age. That's right, here we are on Volcanus, and we are getting set up, so buckle up, let's get started. Okie dokie, and well, it's pretty smoky over here. So what I've done so far, just to kind of prepare for this episode, is cleared out a little bit of space over here and kind of started a back bus, I guess, a lava bus, where I will have lava coming up and stone going down, and then I've set this up here just to put stone in the box up until, it should also be requesting the stone actually, because I just want to store it here, so let's just request that. Alright, great, and that'll put them to work, but then some of this will be put out. I'm going to set this to 2000.
Like and subscribe.
In 2000, and this can just be, yeah, 1000. Sure, whatever. Basically, these two will put in up to 1000, and these two will put out if over 2000, and that way we can dispose of the garbage. You know, it's the kind of jar thing that I do. And then here, if anything makes it past here, I'm actually just going to make it into landfill, and then we'll fill up a bucket of landfill. Sure, that'll be useful later. Mostly because actually landfill is 50 stone. And if we can put, let's see here. We put 50 stone into one of these, and the stack size is 100, but the rocket capacity is 20. That means that 20 times 50 is 1,000 stone. And if we recycle it, I believe, I did the math on it, but it looks like, I think it was like 20%, so 200 per rocket, 200 stone per rocket roughly. And if we look at stone itself, this is, well, it's 500, so I don't know what I was thinking, but I'm still just gonna make landfill out of most of it, whatever. Yeah, and then anything that doesn't get put in the box, doesn't get made into landfill, will just get tossed into the lava. So that'll work just fine. That'll be great. And we can always expand this if we need a little bit more throughput. But anyways, that's the setup there. The other thing I did was start, I placed my concrete facility. So similarly, here we're pocketing some steel, but really we're taking the lava, we're making a bunch of steel, and then we're putting the stone and the steel onto a belt, and then anything that overflows, we're just going back out and dumping it, which ends up being quite a bit of steel that we're dumping actually, but that's fine. And then here we are taking the stone and we are turning it into stone bricks, and it looks like these are turned the wrong way actually. A little glitch in the matrix there, no problem. Yeah, so now this, I think I did the ratios. This should be all working just fine as soon as we get this up and running, I hope. Yeah, it looks like all of these are basically working. Yeah, they're all smelting. They're all smelting now. Anyways, and then that comes over here and it makes, we use some of that molten iron that we had and we leach that off and make concrete from molten iron. And of course we need the sticks as well. So then once we have that, we have steel, sticks, and concrete, and then we just have all of this here to make refined concrete. And at a pretty good pace, actually. Looks like this one's not quite getting... there we go. Yeah, so it took a little bit to kind of get going, but it should be fairly well at ratio, and we should be able to see this continue working. Anyways, so if it's all working fine and dandy, we're getting about 11 refined concrete per second, which is pretty nice. Then I just made this little steam water generator, and yeah, pretty nice ratios here with the 6,000 steam that this produces going into 6 of these machines, which produces more than enough water. That's going to be 270, so about 540 water total, and this is only going to need not even half of that. So yeah, we also put it onto the bus. So now we have sulfuric acid, and I tapped all of these. We're still missing some lights, but yeah, I tapped all of these and put that onto the bus. So then we have a little bit of a fluid bus started. we have our space to build stuff here set up, and then we're good to go right now. So I think some of the things that I would like to do in this episode is we won't quite get this replaced, but we'll get close to that and basically just start producing our own electric circuits, our own steel plates and copper plates. And I don't think I'm going to even put them on the bus, but we really just want these things. Like we can't even build lights on this planet yet, so like that kind of sucks. But yeah, so let's fix that problem. Alright, welcome back. So yeah, I just whipped up this quick little smelting here where, yeah, nothing too fancy, just making some iron on the top, some copper on the bottom, putting each of those in boxes so that we have a little supply of those. Same thing with the pipes. We're no longer starved for these items. And then here I made circuits build for green circuits, just to have, again, you know, a nice stash of that. And then lights, finally we're producing lights here on this planet. I'm gonna bump that up to 200, but yeah, so that's it for there. Oh, and yeah, the lovely concrete. Like we're I'm gonna include the blueprint for this concrete machine as well. But yeah, this is it's super handy. I love it. I can just literally concrete everything. So this world definitely begs to be concreted. Civilize this burnt crisp of a whatever. Anyway, so from here I think we should get the those carbon things here somewhere, maybe even in this spot. Like we don't need all this room there, but yeah, so we just we need to keep building up our supplies here. And yeah, we should redo this. So let's do a quick design here for this. Carbon. Okay, and that's gonna take the how are we making coal in a plant with coal and sulfuric acid? So I think coal should be on the belt. That seems like a thing we might want, maybe here. Either that or, yeah, I don't need to be doing this, quite frankly. We are going to need more belts, so that's a thing we're also going to start producing here shortly. Let's see. Yeah, because they don't take much, so we want to get a belt machine up here shortly, but I want to keep in mind the fact that we want to build the later game belts, so I don't quite want to have that like just here. I don't want to just start building that now. We need to put a little bit more thought into that belts machine itself, and I think I have some here. No, I don't, so I'm actually going to send this vessel back home. Yeah, and let's drop all the blue circuits anyways. Anything else we should drop? No, I think I'm pretty good with that. We don't need any more concrete. We don't need any more steel. We don't need any more lights. And robots, that's fine. But just looking at what else we probably don't need. Like, we don't need any more pipes. Yeah, that's something we can take out. No sense shipping those up to space when we just frankly don't need them. And we've pretty much still got everything. We haven't used too much else. So it's mostly going to be those belts and some circuits. We don't need any more green circuits. That's a good one to take out. And red circuits I think I will bring. And then electric engines. We're going to get those pretty soon here. So I think I'm actually okay with, well, maybe just halving how much we're going to bring in there. And then, yeah, send her home. We are totally good there. I still want to expand the tip of the ship here to double the furnacing. Is that, I don't know. And I don't know, maybe we can even put 2 more cargo bays so we could kind of expand this up a little bit. I think would be good, but that's a little bit later. And then that would be a pretty good, I think with those those additions, like maybe higher quality cargo bays, but also maybe 2 more, so we have 6 total. And then doubling the furnaces here, I think that could be like a really solid delivery ship that basically doesn't have to stop ever. It should be able to almost keep up forever with the demand for ammo and everything like that. So yeah, anyways, just a little sidebar on that. So coming back here, we are going to need this stuff. And how do I want to do it? Because yeah, like the coal is what we were looking at. Do I really want to maybe just do oil? Like oil is going to have to be done. I mean, we could do oil up here. We could do another lava bus coming up here. Kind of a spine here that allows us to build in this area as well. And then do oil up here, which we have quite a bit of room for. So I think that's probably what we're going to end up doing. And nice that we have like 5 mil coal up there that's just accessible, because I definitely didn't have that in my other game. But yeah, maybe we need oil. I think oil is going to be in the next one, the next episode. But if we look at this here and just think about how we want to build this. I guess the question is, should we include the carbon as part of this blueprint? I kind of think so, because, well, how much does this produce? 1, and this needs 1.25. What if we jack this up on speed steroids? 1.89. Ooh. Kind of need like 4 more machines. Maybe we can take this out and do this. 0.25 machines. So maybe we just do a little bit of that. Does that equal 0.25 machines? Yeah, there we go. So this can now produce enough of the stuff we need. The carbon flakes. I don't know what you want to call it. If we just... How much does it need in? This is consuming 20. So this is a half belt of coal. So we could do that type of thing. Well, not really on one side. It's kind of hard to do. So maybe we either bring this down and do another belt for the output. One belt for the input. In. Out. Out. In. Right? Like that's probably just a little bit easier to work with. Nothing too glaringly terrible about that. Well, except for the fact that we would like to have this purple stuff come in maybe on this belt. Yeah, I think that's kind of tough. How much is this using? Almost half a belt. Using quite a bit. Maybe we downsize the amount that we're actually producing. It's like 10 per second. Maybe that's kind of radical. Maybe 5 per second is definitely enough. So let's see. This should be more than enough. Can we do just 2 machines with... I don't think so. But maybe if we... Right? Will this help us? Yeah, a little bit. We do like a module too. Might be nice. Then what are we looking at? Still lacking a little bit here. Don't really want to... I mean, I guess we're gonna have to just put another couple machines and then gear them down. And even still probably gear them down. And now it's just a little bit. There we go. That's a pretty darn good ratio then. And this is still going to produce almost 10 per second actually. It's almost producing as much. But it's using less. It's using 15. So this is definitely a better build in that regards. Oh, this isn't actually touching this one. So maybe that's why we could have this as far as there. And then we definitely wouldn't need these, would we? No, and we almost don't even need, may not even need these at all. Yeah, an entire one, but we could also utilize our coal a little bit better. Yeah, and that's actually really good then, because then we're within 7% of a machine extra, which is just fine. And then if we can still maybe figure out how to get coal in here and the tungsten in here, and then have, let's see, is this possible? See, the thing is, we would have to, we don't really need this actually, so maybe that helps us make sense of this, because then we can have the carbon going out here. Something like that. Well, this doesn't allow us to output or input from there, but does that even matter? Because couldn't we just go one more over? No, because, well, what we could do is just take this whole thing and separate it by one. Sure. Right? And then that's going to give us just that little bit of extra room that we need to output. Where do we want to output, actually, is another question. I think we could also have... We'd also have the output be on the other side of this. Well, if we want to do this, we'd have to have... Let's say we had the output there. No, we can't quite do that because we need... Alright, alright. Alright, I'm just kind of thinking... Alright, alright, it's, let's plan this out here. This goes onto that side. I don't think we can output, and maybe that's a fool's game, like... But we really need... Hold on a second here. We really need something like this. It doesn't have to be all of those, but maybe we are wiser just to do something like that. Like, it doesn't need to be super stacked together, right? Like, we've got space this way because it's so, I don't know, compact. And then that allows us to do this type of thing. Sure. This can also be connected, doesn't really matter, but why not? In fact, I don't know, just to kind of match a little bit, sure. And then that way we can, well, what does that allow us to do? That allows us to output these on this side, which I think just makes it a little bit easier. And then we just come right in here. We makes a box for that. And we can request those in. That shouldn't matter. Everything else is a request or chest, so won't actually do anything. And that's just because, you know me, I like to have one chest for that. And then This can just say 2000. If it's less than 2000, put it in there. Because we can store up to 2000 of that. I have no problem with that. Right, so now we don't have to output it all here. We can do those, and we can do those, right? But then of course our speed beacon is not speed beaconizing everything. Do we at least have ratio still? Yes, but but what if, like, we actually only need 2 ingredients, so what if we just get this on 1 belt? We don't need 2 belts here. Right? All we need 2 belts for is for the coal. So maybe, like, we're using an outside belt anyways, so why don't we just bring the coal in here? I guess we still need to kind of consider, we're going to output on one side, then we need to make sure we're staying on that side to output onto. But then the coal, at least we can do this. We just have 1 belt coming in for coal, 1 belt coming in on the correct side. We want to make sure. Right, there we go. I mean, we could do this maybe a little bit cleaner just by doing this. There we go. A little bit more self-contained. Right? And then this way, this can be, I guess this can be there. Just barely, but that can be there. Ooh, I guess I was already requesting some. Right, and then this can be coal, 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 coal. Then we're getting that out. We of course need our sulfuric acid. But then we only have 1 belt in for each of these, which should just be fine and dandy. I don't think that's gonna have, it only needs, it should be fine. I'll keep an eye on this. If anything, we can do this kind of thing and then do that. But I don't know. I think I'll just stick with the reds for now. I guess because we're probably putting these in a passive provider chest. Yeah, which is fine, because we've got a little stash there, so we're going to delete that, of course, right away, because, well, we've got this now. But that being said, I do think I want to get coal onto a belt here. Coal is probably good beside the tungsten, although this, given that, wouldn't mind putting this a little bit closer. And there's probably room for it, like, right here, because, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, there's like a little space here where the bus is coming up, and we're kind of squaring off this. We could squeeze that in just there, just fine. So that being said, I think I want to actually take this out and just do this across, and then take this out and just move it up for a second. Okie dokie, okie dokie. So that's gonna be it. I'm gonna blueprint this, and we're gonna call this Tungsten
Like and subscribe.
Carbide. I don't know. I think that's what it's called. Something like that. And we are gonna have to we gotta go. That's the end of this chapter. So I'll have this blueprint here for the carbide thing in the description, and I'll have the concrete machine in the description, and heck, I might even put this water machine in the description. But that's it for now. That's all, and I'll see you next time.